Hi guys. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Venus and Leo. This is a very fun placement, and we can definitely use it as a big manifestation boost. I'm going to show you how you can use it for your signs. I'm going to go through the astrology, the energy. I'm going to pull the cards and everything because you are a dynamic, powerful quantum creator of your reality. And I'm going to show you the best way to hop on the highest timeline. So we have Venus and Leo, and Venus represents our money. It represents our relationships, what we value. And what we value is important because this is what we desire to create more of. So we're getting aligned in a very magnetic way with what we want to attract more of into our life and what we want to attract or create more of when it comes to our heart. We're getting aligned. Leo is all about the heart and our own, soulful expression. And it's about passion, creativity, what we love. It's almost our own hero's journey. It's what we decide, like where our heart is calling us, so we can go on this hero's journey to live out our life to the fullest. That brings us, a lot of happiness and joy and just fulfillment. And it is, all the fire signs are about individuality. So this is where we're kind of getting in tune with ourselves. What are we choosing? What's in our life right now that we have chosen so far that isn't, bringing us that happiness and that joy? Can we get into more alignment with those things that do make us shine bright and bring us that fulfillment? Because we are moving into an era that is all about energy consciousness. So us going towards those energies that make us feel excited, joyful, playful, adventurous, like courageous. And the more that we can embody those on a daily basis in all areas of life and how we create our life is what will make us more powerful, because our frequency speaks more so now than the material stuff, because we're moving out of the material age into energy consciousness. And, we need to get reconnected with our hearts again. This is where we can kind of get reconnected with our hearts and open up our hearts even more, bring more of that awareness so we can get connected to the higher chakras, because it all starts from the heart with how we can connect to the higher chakras too. And Leo energy is all about, how can we shine bright? And Leo energy is also, how can we shine bright? How can we go bigger? Where have we been dimming our light? It's time to not dim our light anymore, because we came here to shine bright and radiate in only the way that we can, our own unique skills and talents. And it's us going towards our joy and our passion. So we go towards those things that make us shine bright out in the world. And this is our opportunity to look around right now and see what we've been choosing and what is not aligned with the heart. So we can go through an adjustment and bring the energy all back to you, because we do have a tendency right now to put the power outside of us, whether it comes to a relationship or circumstances, where we can get in tune with our heart and our own vision and our own intuition to go towards what's really meant for us. Because while moving into the age of energy and while we're opening up our hearts so we can activate our full chakra system and not just be in the lower chakra system where we only care about the material and safety and security and money. That's all the lower chakra energy system. And we need all of our chakras activated so we can create the best reality. And so we can also be in tune with more than the five senses, because that's where we're going to be the most powerful in the age of energy. This is where we can get in touch with our courage again. And, the fire energy is all about, it's primal, because we feel that fire and we feel that heart like pumping towards, a certain thing that we want. And we get excited about it. And that's important, to just become alive again with, just what we want to attract more of in our life. So we can use this time to look around and see what we've chosen so far. If it's not in alignment with your heart, maybe, this is a time to see where you can be in alignment with your heart again and choose what you want, choose what you are. we have something in the spiritual community where it's like we feel like we need to practice more courage. We feel like we need to, practice, authenticity in a certain way of being. And yeah, that's true. But at the same time, we also get to decide to just choose it, to just choose who we are and what we are in the moment and leave everything in the past. And as long as you make that decision, we are actually quantum, infinite creators, and we can download that information immediately as long as we're choosing it right away, right here, right now. You choose it. You can go on from now on and create it, and don't create any more of the past. So choice is really, really important. If you make that decision, if you're not happy about your work, if you're not happy about your relationships, if you're not happy about whatever it is in your life, then this is where you can choose right here, right now, and be that more conscious creator of your reality. You decide what you are, you decide what you want, you decide that you are that. You decide, you choose it, and you make that choice inside of you so you can go forward and develop the power, of courage, of authority, of creation. Creativity is really healing too, because we hold ourselves back so long to like start a project, from going on social media, from doing whatever we really want to do, because we feel like we have to develop more in our hole or something and go hermit mode to develop that within us more and practice it more. But no, you're going to find out through experience. You choose it, you are it, you decide to be it, and you go forward. You make that courageous decision and go forward, and you see how things progress. Because when you decide that internally, the universe will send you people and opportunities and things that will come your way that will give you the opportunity to prove it. And it's kind of like creating is healing. I got off on a tangent. When you decide to create something and you just do it, it turns out completely different than what you would ever even expect. So sometimes we hold ourselves back from creating, but the creation is where you will develop that courage and you will develop that power, and you prove it to yourself. And it's very exciting, and it always comes out completely different. And it comes out than you imagined, and it comes out in the way that's exactly meant for you, exactly how it was supposed to be. That is more of that expression of your true self. So if you've been holding anything back with creative projects or whatever, like just start it, just go. This is the time, like you choose it, you are it, do it, and you will be proven by the universe. You will be rewarded by the universe with how courageous you are being with Venus and Leo. Internally, you choose to be confident. You choose to be in love. You choose to be in a relationship. And when you choose relationships these days, like they're going to be triggering. There's no way around it. We're not doing the surface relationships of the past. We're choosing the soulful, whether we like it or not, the soulful, evolving relationships where you do have to go deep. You have to go beyond the mass. You can't, keep things a certain way and keep things pretty. Like you have to go deep, and you are choosing the soulfully the evolutionary journey in relationships. If you're choosing to be in a relationship in this era, because energy doesn't lie, you have to really go deep in your relationships. And the most important thing with, these relationships is you being able to choose self-love first. You got to choose the self-love, so you're not choosing anyone who's not loving you. As long as you're choosing that self-love and to love yourself to the fullest, then you're not going to be choosing anybody that's not loving you in the same way. So you get to choose the self-love and anyone that's meeting you in that love, and not choosing anything less. You get to choose where you get to live in that courage and in that happiness, and where you're operating from love. And anybody who is not operating from love, doesn't matter. They don't get to be in your life. You get to sit yourself on a perch like a king, like a queen. And if they're not meeting you with love, if they're just meeting you with excuses, if they're meeting you with power games or whatever bullshit, you just say no. It's love or nothing. That's it. Love or nothing. No more excuses, no more hanging on to the past, no more holding yourself back from love, because we can hold ourselves back from love because it is scary. You gotta it is scary to be vulnerable and to really live from the heart. But once you do, you realize it's so much more awakening, and it is so much more freeing to you, because you're not playing small in the stupid games that don't matter anymore. You're deciding to be better, and you're deciding to move forward and to leave whatever in the past. When it comes to relationships, sometimes we hang on to the past for too long, but then that's just playing a power game of collapse mentality. That's I'm better than you. I'm better than you. And you go back and forth with who feels better than the other person. And that's just that's just trying to pull each other down. Instead, we need to be living from our hearts, saying all right, that was not in both of our highest character or integrity. We are evolving we're all going to make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. And we decide to leave that stuff in the past and be more consciously aware moving forward and leading more with love and forgiveness and compassion. It is powerful to look back at the past just for those lessons of, what not to be, what you don't want to do anymore, what you're done with. But then it's time to just let everyone radiate from the heart with what they're choosing to be now, and anyone that you've had to leave in the past, just realize they're not hurting you, they're hurting themselves. And so whoever's not choosing love is ultimately hurting themselves and holding themselves back from, evolving in love and evolving from opening up their hearts. Ultimately, you're going to be the most powerful by choosing love yourself. You are a sovereign being, you are a sovereign creator. And as long as you are choosing love and taking those actions through love, which is, you got to prove it with fire signs are all about action. You got to see the proof, you got to be the proof, you got to take that action, from love. And discover how powerful you are, you deciding to create your life now that is from your heart, whether it's money, relationships, whatever. Let the magic happen. As soon as you choose that creative energy, to create, you will see how many things come back to you, instead of sitting and hoping for that love, longing for that love, longing to create something. This is where you can, be rewarded really fast for choosing to create from your heart and creating whatever you want, and, see where it goes. And action came out. So action, my divine action incites love and harmony. I am aware of my thoughts and driven by positive forces. I listen to my heart. My desire to manifest light transforms tests into growth, challenge into opportunity, and fear into love. Exactly. That's what's happening with Venus and Leo. Okay, and then I like to look at the sidereal because I notice for me, the sidereal energy is more so like that soulful energy. It's like that 5D energy coming in. So I feel like this is really helpful for the divine feminines that kind of have that awareness of, that energy, the 5D energy, and then also the 3D energy. We usually have a foot in both realms. So we can notice this higher energy coming in that is also kind of being grounded and elevating the cycles that we have previously been in. So we can, create these new elevated cycles for the new earth and, the new consciousness that we're entering into. So here it is, Venus right in Cancer, right in the middle of the crab. So cute. Venus in Cancer, this is all about nurturing. This is about safety. This is about protectiveness and us kind of prioritizing that at a soulful level. So we move forward from the heart, with that in mind at the subconscious. It's more like we have this in mind in the subconscious energies. And also I feel like this is majorly clearing out and elevating the old family cycles, the karmic cycles that we need to clear out energetically when it comes to family and the family energetics. So we can, kind of wash away like the old, timeline. So we can have a nice like refresh and a nice, washing away of the old and the heavy and what's not serving us, what isn't love. So, we can kind of we can open up our hearts more. And, I love this energy just combined, we're moving from the heart and, just from that soft, tender, soulful place. And Venus is going to be in Cancer and Sidereal until September 13th. So this is kind of going to be the background energy at the same time. Venus is going to be in Leo until 9/19. Want to look at your sun, moon, or rising. Your sun is your life force. It's your soul. It's your core identity of who you really are. And if you want to get into alignment with more of your purpose, more meaning in life, then definitely follow your sun sign for more direction towards that purpose. And especially when it comes to relationships and money and elevating maybe what you value with Venus. And then you want to look at your moon sign. So this is how you're going to be perceiving things emotionally, how you are thinking about things. And of course, we're talking about Venus. So this is love, money, relationships, and what we value. And where we can recognize where we're feeling, maybe where we're feeling emotionally overwhelmed, where we can get more, centered in that, and living from our hearts again and more anchored from our hearts with our perception of this reality of how we think and how we feel and creating more of the story that we want to manifest. And then your rising sign is how you're perceived, it's how you move through life. So this is usually the most accurate. This is how you're going to see, love and relationship dynamics really act out just, in the 3D, like right in front of you. This is like going to be this is the most accurate sign to look at with events that happen, whether it comes to getting into a relationship or relationship events and then career events. It's objectively with, say there's a friend looking into your life. This is what they would kind of see going on because this is how people perceive you. Hi, Leo. So Venus is in your first house. So you're getting connected to how can you shine out in the world? How can you radiate out in the world? How can you choose yourself so you can choose more of what you love and more of what you want to create out in the world? Because the first house is a very powerful place. With Jupiter in the 12th house and with Venus that was just in the 12th house, we have really, gone through the past and seen where we have held ourselves back, but at the same time where we can release all the past stories in the past so we can have that unconditional love and more of that connection to the universe with more trust and divine surrender and faith in what's coming next. And you can only invite the best in with what's coming next when you are opening up your heart, when you're letting more of that love in, and when you're letting more of your higher self integrate into your body, because that's kind of, we're making what's internal. We're making those internal choices and recognizing what's internally so we can self-actualize it, so we can embody it more so. And when Venus is in the first house, things are going to be attracted to us. We are radiating more so out in the world, very shiny. So we can attract relationships, we can attract opportunities, we can, just have major breakthroughs with choosing it, embodying it, going on, whatever, really being courageous and going after whatever we want to go after or being however we want to be. Maybe we're just deciding to just be more love out in the world and seeing what happens, being more open, being more in trust and divine surrender out in the world, because that's an important test too with the North Node in the 8th house. The best things are going to be coming towards us when we are just in that trust, in that flow, in that openness. All we have to do is really be focusing on ourselves and showing up out in the world as our best selves and knowing that the right relationships will come to us, the best opportunities will come to us. But yeah, it's all about us first. Where can we choose more love? Where can we choose to be bolder, to be shinier, to like be more authentically ourselves out in the world, so the best things also come to us. So, messenger of water, there might be a message of love coming your way for some Leos. So yeah, this is more of an emotional time, it looks like. And it looks like, you're just like softening up. There could be deep healing from the past and family stuff, because Cancer in our 12th house rules like family stuff and us looking back into the deep past to maybe just forgive and let go. The only way to have like success in all areas of life is to forgive your mother and father, no matter what. Like you have to forgive your mother and father and like love them, know that they did the best that they could. So you can have good money, good love, good in all areas of your life. Everything starts with that forgiveness and with that open heartedness, and with that, you're going to be able to lead more so from the core of your being and with that calm centeredness of yourself, because calm came out. The calm, I breathe, live, and grow the light within me. I do one thing at this time and focus on the present moment. I cast off my doubts, all fear dissipates, and I find peace in my being. Yeah, it's more so like not putting on a mask or a persona anymore. It's finding out how can you just be out in the world. And you can only be out in the world when you are just open with love. Like you are just in that surrender and that trust and like focusing more so on yourself and your internal world and not letting the outside affect you as much. That is the most, I think law of assumption is the most powerful ways of manifesting, because you just decide it within you and then your reality just starts being that. So you choose like what you want out in your reality by deciding within, visualizing with it within, like connecting to it like in the morning and at night, and making that a priority within you and what you want to see in your external reality, and then letting it show up externally. But know that it will. You have to have that trust and faith and surrender and releasing of the doubts and everything, so you have that calm and that knowingness that you are surrendering to the higher universal forces with how these better things can come into your life. But yeah, that's how the best things can happen. We weren't meant to do it all. We were meant to surrender also, and to just kind of be the light out in the world. Success, look how shiny that is. That looks like us, Leo. So success, I grow and thrive in the universe. I discover the purity of my heart in the higher wisdom that guides me towards victory. I direct my thoughts towards clarity and nurture and wisdom, love and goodness within me. I am free now and I succeed in my life. Yeah, you just get to figure out how you can shine out in the world and how you can open up your heart more so. The only thing we need to take with us from the past, we learned the lessons, we learned what we don't want anymore, we know what we're done with, and now all we have to do is open up our heart more, like take the wisdom. That's all we need to take with us. Like we have become wise with all of that, so we take that wisdom and then we go back and shine and radiate out in the heart even more so. Because treasured your loved ones came out, it might be a good time to like spend some time with family and just appreciate them for who they are on their journey right now, where we can get out of judgment. With Saturn and Neptune in the 9th house, I think it's important to like get out of judgment, because judgment blocks you off from embodying more of your heart and more of your soul. So curiosity kills judgment. So see where you can actually just be curious, when it comes to, leaving things in the past. Like broken and intimacy came out. So maybe in the past, like, there was some sort of, I don't know, close relationship or bond that, you felt like was like just shattered and broke you or whatever. but this is like your heart can't fully be broken unless you let it. So you have to open up your heart again and let yourself open up into the right relationship where you can go deep, where you can bond and be more sensual and confide in somebody, and realize that, with Pluto in the seventh, like relationships are just mirrors. And the only way to go through these relationships, like you will see like where they're doing stuff and it's like annoying, but the only way to that is within you in some way, and you get to have that conversation with them to see a completely different perspective that you probably would have never even really seen before. So your curiosity can kind of break things out into more love, actually, and to see where they're really coming from. Because there can be major breakthroughs in relationships. And the only way to have soul evolving relationships with Pluto in the seventh is to actually not be so focused on them. Just make sure you're being your best self, and then having those conversations with love to see how we can soulfully evolve, how we can leave all that shit in the past and just like be the best versions of us now and move forward. Like, and that's how most people should be functioning out in the world. Like our world is fucked up because we don't do that. That isn't the standard. We go to therapy and say it was their fault and we put the power outside of us, or we put people in jail, say they're bad forever and there's nothing that can be done about them. It's so fucked up. Like, it's really, we live in a fucked up world right now. So, the only way that we can move on is to like see where everyone learned their lessons, see where everyone can be better people and open up their hearts moving forward. I don't know why that was coming through right now, but anyway, so you can be successful in your own life and leading more so from the heart and thriving moving forward, because you will be thriving and growing with your heart open. All right. Thank you so much, Leo. If you would like the reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Virgo. So this is happening in your 12th house. You're actually going to have a lot of luck with when you go hermit mode, when you're a little bit more behind the scenes, if you're working on passion projects, if you're, just kind of reorganizing anything behind the scenes. But this is a great time to really, dive into like creative projects and passion projects that are, soulfully aligned with you. So you can go through a self-discovery. So anything that is kind of fun and enjoyable, definitely work on it, because that is kind of like where you'll find that soulful self-expression and your kind of higher self open up even more so more of you can kind of come down and be integrated into this experience. Because Page of Fire, there's new passions, new interests. There's kind of like a deeper discovery of what you can bring here. And, this is a good time for journaling, reflecting back on the past when it comes to relationships and money, and which ways, you have helped yourself like capped off. Where can you actually lead with more love? Where can you be bolder? Can you live from your heart more and be more courageous and kind of let the best things into your life? And, make magic happen. So you will get strong messages from your higher self around this time. You will, go through a deep discovery so you can kind of shed some of the layers of the past and the chapters that you're closed with. When Venus goes through the 12th, it's kind of like washing away the past, the past cycles of when Venus went, since Venus has gone all the way around, and Venus goes around once a year. So, it's a nice kind of, reset. So you can know what you want now, especially when Venus goes into the first, because then it's going to be time to take action towards more of what you want. But also it's very important to kind of go through this deep reflection and self-discovery, because with the North Node in your relationships house, the South Node in your first house, how have you been showing up in relationships that has been serving you, but what hasn't been serving you? What do you need to be more aware of so you can be more personally empowered and not feel like you have to overgive or overserve and, all of that, which relationships have been like weighing you down. What you've learned a lot with, Saturn that just, finishing up going through your seventh house. It's dipping back in there for a little bit this fall. So you're finishing up big karmic lessons and you have upgraded majorly energetically when it comes to your relationships. So now it's time to connect to what is that dream relationship that you want to have into your life? What is that magical relationship that you want to attract in? And know that you can have it. It is yours. If you are desiring it, you can have it. You can live that life. You can live, and you might be reflecting on all areas of your life. So how can you manifest all of the areas of your life in a better way, with clearing out whatever was holding you back? Because, oh yeah, what I was gonna say is the 12th house. Blah, blah, blah. The 12th house is like the subconscious. So we have our conscious mind, and then we have the subconscious, which is the bridge between to everything. It is that source. You're more so connected to that source energy that is the creation of everything in this universe. So you really going within and having kind of a boosted up subconscious right now, you can really get in tune with those deeper soulful desires. So you have that bridge of imagination of how you can create it. And as long as you're imagining it and visualizing it in your mind, you're going to be able to start attracting the right opportunities and the right next best steps to take and all of that. So it's actually, it's downtime, but it's like a good time to, make sure you're maybe doing subconscious, subliminals, if you like subliminals. Make sure you're dream journaling, make sure you're journaling in general, make sure you're visualizing and connecting with your imagination to manifest your future. That's what you want to be doing. Okay. So choose love. You always have a choice. Make yours with love. At the end of the day, we might be clearing out a lot of the past, but it's important to let go of the past and choose love so you can really go through that internal alchemization right now. Is alchemization a word? So we can alchemize. And action. Oh, this came out for the collective. So action. My divine action incites love and harmony. I am aware of my thoughts and driven by positive forces. I listen to my heart. My desires manifest light, transform tests into growth, challenge into opportunity, and fear into love. So yeah, you're alchemizing and transforming everything in a really big way. Looking at getting so fully connected with your bigger dreams, hopes, and dreams and visions for the future, so you can go onward with more love. And with alchemizing everything into love, there will be a new spark, possibly new opportunities, new things to go after, and you really stepping into your Empress energy, which the Empress energy is extremely magnetic. She doesn't, she is that powerful feminine energy that is magnetizing everything to her. So this is the energy that you're really, in right now. And confessions, unveiling, coming clean messages. There might be confessions coming your way if somebody comes back from the past, because that can happen with Venus in the 12th too, like, messages coming back from the past. So it really clears it out. And so you learn whatever you needed to learn in this soulful journey we're in. And then conflict, clashing, differences, incompatibility. You might become aware of where things are just a little bit incompatible, but at the end of the day, when you're leading from love, and choosing love, then, you will attract in the highest love, to you. And that, comes with love of creating relationships, money, your life, all of that. Yeah. Recognizing where things might be in conflict, so you can release that, so you can move forward in this more so Empress energy. All right. Thank you so much, Virgo. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Libra. So this is an exciting one for you. Venus in the 11th house. This has to do with all of your hopes and your dreams and your visions for the future. it is the bigger picture, and it's kind of like elevating out of the box of what you've already manifested to see what else you can possibly manifest, which is going to be something exciting and different and new and just be a whole different, elevated cycle. This is where you can meet new people, meet new friends, groups, and networks that you just kind of get along with that can help, like-minded people that can help you progress along on your own journey. And maybe where you can co-collaborate with others too. This can be a good time to just get really see who's in alignment with your friendships and who you really are connecting with. And also I like Venus in the 11th because it's kind of like you can receive those downloads of those like where you're going in the future, like a lot easier. So it's powerful to like journal, journal and just be open to receiving those ideas because, it could just be really exciting new ideas that help you get to your dreams a lot faster. So being open, being receptive to the different, to, because this is like the house of channeling, whatever is coming through, see what comes through so it can, kind of break you out of the box and send you on this exciting journey. So what else is, it's a good time to make a dream board. But you're really getting connected with your heart and what you're passionate about and how you can shine in a more radiant and authentic way out in the world. The 11th house is where we connect with a collective. So this could be on social media too. This is a great time to come up with different ideas so you can show up brighter and more authentic out in the world in, on your social media. And interesting. I love that. Yeah, this is kind of like where you're really like feeling it, where you're feeling that limitless energy. You are limitless. You can do anything you choose. So, and Venus rules you too. So you're going to be, a bit more fired up, a little bit more bold and maybe meeting exciting people that, kind of rise you up also. And it's letting you realize that you're limitless. You can do anything you choose. Your biggest dreams possible. If you're imagining it, if you're seeing it within you, you can do it. And if you're desiring it, you can do it. You just have to give yourself, you have to choose it. And then you have to give yourself permission and be true to your heart and your soul and say, who cares? It doesn't matter like who's like, who's liking it, who's not liking it. You're going to find the people that like it with Venus in the 11th house. So know that you can do anything you choose. You're kind of the unicorn right now. This is a good time to travel, to kind of go to concerts, to go to like meet and greets, to connect, because you don't know what will really come your way. And it can be very exciting. So being true, I am true to myself and others. I remove my mask and stop creating illusions. I have confidence in who I am, and I reveal the good in me. I do not need to hide or prove anything, or replace shame with the power of love and truth. Know that your people will only find you if you are radiating more of yourself out in the world with your unique interests and your unique talents and just kind of being out in the world. And see, it's kind of like sending out that frequency of authenticity to attract all your brilliant dreams towards you. And action came out. Action came out for Virgo too in the collective. So action. My divine action incites love and harmony. I am aware of my thoughts and driven by positive forces. I listen to my heart, my desire to manifest light, transforms tests into growth, challenge into opportunity, and fear into love. Yep. So I love that. And you're knowing what you can commit to. And I like how Venus was making a trine to Saturn and Neptune. So maybe, some of you are really committing to marriage and getting married or getting, a little bit more serious in your relationships. This is kind of the time where you can look at that bigger future and be excited by it and have those conversations with your significant other But also, yeah, if you're single, you can meet somebody through friends, through networks, at concerts, yada yada. And they could be, a serious relationship, that is coming in. But know what you're committing to with what you value and all of that. So, see, longing. Yeah, release the longing. Just go after it. Like wherever you have longing, wanting, craving, this is where you got to give yourself permission to just go after it. And then for some of you, release of justice, like wherever there is like an imbalance in relationships, know that like maybe that's permission to release, because there will be a lot of more relationships to come your way that can start out brilliant new cycles of abundance. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Libra. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Scorpio. So Venus in your 10th house is beautifying your career, your long-term goals, your reputation, who you are out in the world. How can you be brighter? How can you be bolder? How can you be fancier? How can you be more regal? How can you be whatever you want to be, whatever your heart is really calling you to be out in the world? How can you step up more, so, even more so into that? If you've been wanting a raise, if you've been wanting a promotion, this is a good time to ask. If you've been wanting to start a business, whatever career direction that your heart is really calling you towards is the direction that you want to go in. Yeah, but how can you kind of assume that you already are that out in the world? And so you can go, so you can just decide to be that actually. So you can, decide to be that, know what you're choosing, and then all the right opportunities with career and with people and relationships can come your way. So action is coming out for everybody and being true. This came out for Libra too. And at the same time, like you're being really true to your soul and, the vision that is inside of you, so you're not going after those ego things that are going to be satisfying for the ego for a little bit. You can really get into your heart and your soul and connect with that vision of what's going to be the most satisfying. So you can make that biggest vision happen in the easiest way possible. Because, yeah, the way we manifest and the best way to manifest is by holding that vision, visualizing, imagining, and holding that, within you. And then you will see like your imagination, develop even more. So it will go even more and more and more into detail when you're about to manifest something. Like you start like getting really, really, really into detail. But also externally, you start seeing like people and the next best step to take and everything kind of like fall into place. And then it's a lot easier to manifest versus completely just always going outwards. So make sure you connect with that vision, because there is maybe a hidden vision within you that you feel emotionally connected to that will let you be more true to yourself. So you can send out that signal to attract the right people and opportunities to you. So being true, I am true to myself and others. I remove my mask and stop creating illusions. I have confidence in who I am, and I reveal the good in me. I do not need to hide or prove anything. I replace shame with the power of love and truth. Yeah, so wherever you have been holding yourself back out of shame or guilt or whatever, any of those emotions, this is where you can just have confidence. You're doing things like from the heart. You don't need to prove anything. You just have to validate yourself and have that self-love within yourself and not hold back. Like sometimes we play small because we feel like we have to, but this is where you can just own your power, out of more love and radiance, natural radiance, and see what, how you can really show up out in the world. Empress energy, know that you are attracting everything to you. As long as you're having that vision within you and you're working with that feminine energy within, you will magnetize everything to you in a very easy and effortless way. And this same card came out for Leo. These cards came out for Leo also. So it's like you're getting over that last little bit of anxiety. And this could be just like an imposter syndrome a little bit. So you can just step into that more embodiment, be it, choose it. You're living it now. And you're seeing like how, things develop in a very creative, exciting way when you believe in yourself and you believe that you are limitless. So you can step up into a bolder version of you out in the world. And clarity, truth, intentions, honesty. I think you're getting clear with your own vision. I like how, is that a camera? Yeah, that's like a camera scope. You're just getting, really clear with your own vision, with where you're going for the long term. And when Venus is there, it's like you're getting clear in a way that's actually fun. You're enjoying it. And, you're just like seeing things manifest a lot easier. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Get clear with your own vision and you will see it. Know what you're releasing at the same time, what you're moving on from, because we don't have to show up out in the world in the same way that we have always in the past that wasn't serving us. And choose your vision, your limitless unicorn vision, especially if it's different, especially if it's coming from your heart and your soul and it is super unique to you. Choose it, live it, be it, and manifest it. All right. Thank you so much, Scorpio. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Sagittarius. So Venus in your ninth house, you're really getting aligned with your beliefs, your overall vision, your meaning and purpose in life. You might be expanding your world in some way through philosophy, through, different spiritual practices, through traveling the world. The more that we kind of expand our world knowledge or world view, the more options that we have. And knowledge is power. So you can see how you can create your reality in the most expansive way for you, because you are a Sagittarius and you want to be expansive. So it's going to be, it's a good time to go on trips, to go on an adventure in general, do something random. I feel like when the ninth house is lit up, it's just fun to do something random. Do something random that you're really feeling called to do, that is kind of exciting to you. And that would always be your soul kind of getting you to go in a certain direction to find that thing that is meant for you. Wherever you might be stuck in judgment about something, this is a great time, because the ninth house, we really do have to release any judgments. And I just heard this thing, like, wherever you kind of get defensive about like a belief system or something in general, it's usually where you're protecting an illusion. So like, this is the time to be curious, because curious kills judgment. So you can kind of open up your world to a whole new unifying you, possibly. And yeah, really explore. Okay. If you're single, you could definitely meet somebody abroad. You can, yeah, I don't know, good time to just learn and travel. So yeah, ninth house. Oh yeah, just connect with your vision though. This is a great time to go inward, really imagine, visualize, connect with your higher self. Because with, the ninth house is all about connecting to your higher self and having easier access to your higher self. So you can definitely get major just downloads and inspirations. So you can get the information that you need to go wherever you need to go. There we go. One of these, this took forever to come out for you guys. Okay, so joy. Like a child, I discovered joy in the simplicity of life. Happiness lies in magical moments, not in the material. Even the smallest joy is a great source of light. So yeah, when it comes to spirituality and religion and everything like that, it should be higher vibration, especially since we're moving into the energetic age versus the material age. We need to lighten the fuck up here. We need to go after what is joyful to us, what is adventurous to us, what is bringing us that joy, that excitement, that creativity, so we can follow our joy and find that expansion. And with that, you're going to free yourself and realize that you are the light. I am the light. I always have hope no matter the ordeal. I have faith in the better future. I turn darkness into light. I open my heart to others and to God. I am, or if you want to call it source or divine intelligence or whatever you want to call it. I open my heart to others and to God or prime creator. I like the Palladian's way of saying prime creator. And am spiritually strong. I draw light to me and shine with all my being. Yep, this is the time for you to find what makes you shine, follow your joy, and you will like really kind of know, you'll recognize that you are limitless. This is you being able to really step into your limitless power by being so excited by some sort of vision or some sort of like unattainable goal. The unicorn, you're limitless. You can do anything you choose. There was weird creaking over there. Okay, so know that whatever you get inspired by, whatever you're getting passionate about, if you choose it, you can do it. You just have to choose it. Then you embody it and you go after it and you be courageous and see where it goes. And I think this is, yeah, there's an emphasis on making yourself happy with the Nine of Cups. Finding that emotional fulfillment. So yeah, it's kind of like a mix of where you thought you were bluffing before and you put on a mask, you know, or this kind of reminds me of like fake it until you make it, you know? But either way, if you're doing that from that soulful place, that's the most important thing. So this is where you're finding that like that joy and that inspiration within you and that excitement. So it's not like you're putting on a mask, actually. It is like you just being so excited about it. So you get to discover like this new version of you, Sagittarius 2.0, 5.0, a billion time point out. Okay, anyway. So anything else? Nope. You are the light. Follow your joy, follow your excitement. Oh, it was Bimmy trying to get in over there. Okay, so follow what lights you up so you can go on your Dharma timeline and manifest better, higher realities for you. Thank you so much, Sagittarius. Hi, Capricorn. So this is happening in your eighth house. That Mercury retrograde could have probably been triggering, with getting out all of that deep stuff. This could be emotions from relationships from the past, like just your own fears, just anxieties, any of those lower emotions that you kept kind of stuck in yourself and in your body that needed to be kind of freed up. And Venus is here now, making this area really, really beautiful and lightening things up. So it is going to be a better time to bond in relationships. If you've been wanting to have those deeper conversations, you can really, integrate the shadows on both sides and kind of go deeper and know that when you are kind of connecting to your own, childlike wonder within you, and you are like connecting to your heart and your soul, and you're going deep with that and you're letting it shine more so out in the world, the more abundance can come to you. Money, like, because the eighth house is like where we get rid of all those triggers and all the wounds and all the heavier emotions, so we can let source and our life force flow through us in a lot easier way, so we can attract all the right things to us, so we can be very magnetic. And then let source flow so we can create also. So where are you spending your time and your energy, and where can you spend more of your time and your energy now since you've gotten that clarity? And, maybe you do want to start a creative project. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want to spend more time on you. Maybe you've been giving too much in certain relationships. But at the end of the day, where can you stand more so in your own empowerment, and then in the most empowering relationships that do let you shine, that do let you be your most authentic self. Good time for investing with Venus in the eighth. Not financial advice, but I when, good planets are in the eighth house, it's a good time to invest or renegotiate loans and contracts. Okay, so Three of Fire. I think you're realizing what you're passionate about and, new passions moving forward. And that's important because you going after your passion can lead you towards more abundance. Miracles and blessings. Everything has a gift. Yeah, I think you've definitely, healed a lot and released a lot. So you've discovered the gifts in all of that deeper stuff that maybe had to come up. Express love through gifts. Oh yeah. The eighth house being ruled by Leo for you guys. You guys like gifts, receiving gifts, giving gifts. So yeah, a small token of love can convey a great appreciation. So yeah, if you want to give someone a gift, this might be a good time to do it. And courage came out. I am stronger than fear and bigger than doubt. I am light and I remain light. I trust in God and stand tall before the tests of life. I grow and become wiser through every challenge. I am a being of new life. So yeah, this is kind of powerful. It's like you go deep to have that intense transformation, but once you do it, just ignites and shoots back up, and you can kind of allow yourself to resurrect in a whole new way that is very, very powerful and a lot lighter. Because whenever you go through the eighth house, transit through the eighth house like that, you let yourself transform, you let yourself shed all the old skin. So you are excited to go after your passions and your interests and what you've always wanted to do, but whatever was holding you back, maybe you were afraid of what they would say, or maybe you were caring too much about a certain relationship and not doing it because of them, but you're shedding what hasn't worked for you so you can really go after what you're passionate about and what you desire and spend more of your time on energy on that. And yeah, this could be a good time where maybe some of you released, running, ghosting, disappearing, invisible, like somebody that was in a runner chaser dynamic. Time came out for that. So it's waiting for divine timing, for certain relationships, I guess. But also, I would like to say, don't wait on anybody, you got to choose self-love first and love yourself to the fullest. And then the right relationships are going to be magnetized to you. You can always appreciate them, but everyone's on their own soulful journey. And it is good to just appreciate for everybody kind of, being on their own soulful path and journey, but know that it'll come in at the right place and at the right time. All right. Thank you so much, Capricorn. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Aquarius, yay. This is exciting for you. This is entering your seventh house. So for the single Aquariuses, it's going to be a good time to date. You could easily meet somebody new, somebody very fun, bold, exciting, charismatic, shiny. So, and you can meet them while you're going towards your own passions and what's fun and interesting to you. So definitely do that if you want to meet somebody. And then for the Aquariuses that are in a relationship, this is a great time to really smooth things out. Maybe that Mercury retrograde was a little turbulent. Maybe there was conversations that needed to be had. This is where you can really make your relationship better, really bond, and at a whole nother level. And, if there's any conversations that you needed to have in your relationship, this is where you can have them, where you guys can appreciate both of more of your full, authentic, soulfully evolving selves that are self-actualizing every day and kind of, evolving into better and better people. So yeah, if you want to go on a trip or something with a loved one, it's a good time to do that too. But yeah, good time for clients, business partners, family relationships, friendships, any kind of relationship, one-on-one relationship. If you own a business, it's a great time to come up with a marketing strategy to attract in more clients. Yeah, Okay, so shining my light. My desire to improve myself transforms fear into strength. I raise my thoughts above doubt and find faith in the goodness of the universe. I love and accept myself as a soul, and I discover the light that dwells within me. Yeah, so the more that you're willing to transform and you're attracting in people that recognize the light within you to bring more of it out. That's why you have Leo here, like helping you transform and everything. Be around people that, recognize your light and want to pull it out of you so you can shine, even brighter, like this supernova thing going on. But yeah, you might find some community for some of you. Community, Three of Water came out. So that's like friendships, that's like a party, that's an event. You could definitely meet somebody, certain people that are just like, different but aligned. Because Uranus in the fifth house now, this is like very supportive with that. But yeah, new friends that might bring a whole new version of you out. The path to light. I make the conscious choice to move forward towards the light, one step at a time. I transform my weaknesses into strength by mastering my thoughts. I overcome obstacles with positivity and acceptance. I develop my gifts and extend my light to every being unconditionally. This is so funny. Like, I feel like this is very Leo and this one's very Aquarius, but they're both about light. So that's cool. I mean, yeah, this reminds me of Pluto and Aquarius too, because it's like, pinpointed precision, like towards, um, you know, okay, so Pluto, we can get zoomed in to something. And then sometimes, like, if we're zoomed into something, that's not right for us, we're like forcing it and forcing it and forcing it. And where we can kind of go through the most powerful transformation is just kind of where we let go and let things be, and then kind of get back into the love and being. And then the obstacles that were there like disappear because we were just too zoomed in, So wherever that might be happening is where you can kind of zoom out and just know that your ability to transform things into light, and also like how you are being kind of guided by higher forces right now, where you will just find, your people and people that appreciate your light and the light that does come from your soul. Knows, let's see, know that you will be stronger and more powerful, the more that you can kind of go through that transformation. Positivity. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Wait, one more. Okay, be authentic, be real, and true to who you are and how you feel. So you are evolving in general right now, and I think you have that inner path of light within you first, and then once you find that radiance with who you really are, and you lean into your strengths and you lean into your fun and your creativity and where you're being called, and you have trust in that, you're going to be able to extend your light even more so in a whole new way that you never have before. See, look how crazy this light look. It's like, it's dynamic and it's changing. And then, it figures out how to shine like even brighter. So yeah, that's kind of like, maybe a journey that you're going through with relationships that are helping you do this also. Stress came out, turbulence, tension, arguments, or intimacy. So sometimes like arguments come out sometimes, but no, like it is good to just have the argument, because this might just be like a tough evolutionary like breakdown to really break through to more love on the other side, because it's going to lead to more depth, more intimacy, more bonding and true intimacy, where you're kind of bonding mind, body, spirit. All right, thank you so much, Aquarius. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Pisces. Okay, so this has to do with your sixth house, which is your everyday life, your work, your routines, your habits, your health, and how can you make improvements here? Maybe some issues came up where you've needed to pay more attention to your health, or maybe been wanting to clean up your diet a little bit more. But what is going to make you shine and radiate out in the world to your fullest? And these are the things that you need to choose that can, help you embody more of your full self, and then at the same time be able to attract, better opportunities and co-collaborations and relationships at work. And yeah. So let's see. Like attracts like. If you long for more love, be more loving. So yeah, maybe there's, the best way. This is the house. The sixth house is the house of karmic relationships sometimes, that where we just get piled on with burden or something. And it's from like some sort of past life issue that we took on this responsibility because we just felt like we needed to. And then it ended up being a lot more responsibility or something. Stuff like that, where you could be clearing out something so you can have better relationships in general. And either way, you are clearing stuff out with relationships with the South Node in your seventh house. Oh God. Maybe some of you got to declutter. I just saw a bug move over there, and I'm like, oh my God, because there's a giant spider over there too. I swear to God, I will punch my own camera if there's a spider near me. I'm scared, so scared of spiders. I can't. Okay, like, okay, what was that? I'm gonna pause it for a second. 1 second. So yeah, maybe decluttering the office would be good. Maybe bug spraying the parameter or something. Because when you clear out your space like that too, energetically it lets like energy flow and new energies flow in. So, if you want to get rid of old shit, if stuff is just taking up space, then this is a good time to clear stuff out to keep the stuff that is more representative of you and where you're going, so you can be inspired every day to show up as that best version of yourself. So peace. I am unwavering in the face of fear. I come to my senses and embrace challenge. I am determined to think with gentleness and calm. I find inner silence and become a manifestation of peace. I like that. I think you're taking on habits and routines and, work that can be more so in flow with you and bring you, a lot more peace. Like attracts like. If you long for more love, be more loving. I love this card though. She's so pretty. Yeah. I mean, Pisces, you're naturally like a little earth angel anyway, very compassionate and everything. So no, I think you might be transforming people personally, so they can radiate more peace and love. And for some of, yeah, and this can be a new beginning, new opportunity with money. So look out for that opportunity, and you're going to be able to find that opportunity by getting into your own, radiance and your own flow. For some of you, maybe you're spending a little bit too much time obsessing over a certain relationship or a heartache or something, and this is where you can kind of release that. Clear it out. It's not serving you now. Bring the focus back to you and your everyday life and your routines and becoming that best version of you. So you will just attract in the best relationships for you. And then, yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Pisces. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Aries, this is a fun area for you. So this is the fifth house. This is love, dating, creativity, self-expression. There could be a way that you're just expressing yourself in a whole new way, that you're letting yourself out of the box. You're letting yourself have more fun. You're discovering a new passion or remembering a creative talent that you feel like you want to develop more of. Either way, a lot of luck going towards fun and passion projects and really following your heart, following what lights you up towards, your Dharma timeline, because the fifth house, it just leads you to lucky things, lucky people, lucky opportunities, lucky ideas with creating something new that can bring you money to, just have a lot of fun and a lot of luck. And I love how it's making a trine to you. So it's like this new way of expressing yourself out in the world can, with more confidence, with more authenticity, with more just finding new ways of being that more inspirational version of yourself and just deciding to be it, not waiting for anybody else's approval or anything. So you can embody it and then go after all those big, beautiful things that you really want to manifest in your life. So it's a good time to start creative projects or brainstorm, if you have any business projects or creative projects. And if you're single, great time to date. Go out there, go after your passions. You'll find somebody. If you're in a relationship, it's a good time to go have fun with your significant other and deepen the love in your relationship. Yep, 10 of water. Oh my gosh, I love this too. Yeah, it looks like you can have a lot. So for some of you, it looks like maybe some karma happens, like maybe a heavier cycle that you had to become familiar with, kind of happens, but it's like you're clearing out those kind of debts and you're clearing out the anxiety, which was kind of like mental anxiety, like worries and thoughts and like frustrations about certain things, where you're finding more love again. You're amplifying love. You're getting back into your heart and, having more unconditional love and forgiveness and compassion. So you can clear out the past karma and clear out what is no longer serving you about love, or fears about expressing yourself creatively in a certain way. And spend quality time together, listen to each other, talk to each other. So yeah, there's 10 of Cups here. I think a soulmate connection can definitely come in. That's very strong. And, just you guys are on the same frequency and you can go towards, creating a beautiful, abundant future that has everything. But yeah, definitely spend some time going out, having fun, bonding, in your significant close relationships. Inner beauty. I open the eyes of my heart and direct my gaze to the light within every being. Personality and physical appearances are in the image of man. Beauty and goodness are in the image of God. Yeah, so you're just finding a lot of your inner beauty and finding how you can radiate more of that out into the world. Wherever you've been holding back your fire and your charisma and your, whatever ways that you've been holding yourself back and dimming your light, it's time to beam it all the way out and have a lot of fun doing it. So you can kind of send out that net of energy and attract all the things to you that will be very, very lucky for you. So know by you following your heart, having fun is going to just send out this kind of wave to attract amazing things to you. And divine light. I am an expression of love and I shine like the sun. My inner light is my strength and my treasure. My intuition guides me to discover the wonder and goodness of who I am. Yep, you're going, you talk about, or the spiritual community talks about like authenticity, but authenticity is really us choosing authenticity on a daily basis and seeing how we get to express ourselves and what relationships we connect with and everything, like who kind of shows up with that true light that you're choosing to send out. It's not like you remember authenticity. You choose it and you live it, and then you get to shine more of your light every day. And I love that. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Aries. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Taurus. So this is happening in your 4th house, which is your home, family, and foundation. You're majorly elevating out of any dense karmic cycles from, family lines and everything by being more bold, being more true to yourself and true to your heart and not dimming your light at all and shining bright out in the world. And this is a great time to really beautify your home, really make it your comfort zone. If you need to remodel something, if you've been clearing stuff out and now this is the time to go back and redecorate everything and make it nice as Dorinda says. From the Real Housewives of New York. I don't watch that anymore. but yeah, it's been a little bit. I made it nice. Anyway, so make home your comfort zone. Home is where the heart is. And, then you just have those deep roots. So you can reach out into the world in a whole new, exciting way. Also, this is kind of really nice with that deep, getting so aligned with the core of who you are, with your inner essence, with your soul, with your inner emotional foundation. The fourth house is really important as setting that standard of those emotions that you want to feel. Oh my God, it's a cricket. Okay, one sec. Like, I thought it was a spider. I'm not scared of a cricket, but okay, it's a cricket, so that's fine. I'm gonna throw it out later. It kind of hid behind something, so I can't right now. I needed to clutter also. I'm gonna throw a bunch of shit away. And also, like, yeah, probably getting ready to move. So if you need to move also, this is the time to look for a place because you could actually find a place that's really, really perfect that you just, that just resonates with who you are. But yeah, finding your inner light is really, really powerful with Venus in the fourth house, really getting into your inner child and your inner, like, just self-expression and just like kind of, finding that within you so you can radiate more of that, out into the world. And yeah, so inner work. God brings me ideal situations for my inner healing. As I become aware of my weaknesses, I turn them into strengths. I direct my thoughts towards the light and see the positive side of every stage of my life. Darkness turns into courage, thus I get stronger. Yeah, the more you turn anything from the past into light, you're only strengthening yourself. And that is the inner work. It actually is inner love, not inner work. So I don't like using the word work anymore because it seems like it's going to take a long time. And like it seems like you have to earn it, but you don't have to earn it. You just have to give yourself more self love. So romance, lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. So yeah, any close relationships that you live with, or you can really bond. Your significant other, you can bond. You can have a lot of fun. Like, look at that. Look at how pretty that is. Yeah. Go on a date, really have, enjoy more movies at home. Just getting along better too and getting to know each other. It's kind of like even if you're in a relationship for a long time, you can get to know each other at a whole new level, like throughout your life, if you decide to. And it's kind of like you can get to know each other in a whole new way, learn to meet another's need for love. Yep. So getting to know each other by what they need for love. And this could be with family relationships too, or any close relationship. Find more love in it. And yeah, it's all about perspective, developing new perspectives for a new way to move forward. That will be a solid new foundation that you're setting to move forward. Oh, wait, did I say? Okay, yeah. The setting your inner core frequency, like that's kind of like a fourth house thing. Like you get to set your emotional state that you're feeling most of the time. And I think this is a good time where you can kind of purge the old, and become aware of what you feel most of the time, even when you're alone. So you can really just shine more, I like a reverence, because that's like, closest to God or peace, so you can feel more of those higher emotions because as humans, we have a tendency to go towards the negative emotions. It's the programming, it's all of it, So this is where you can reset your own emotional frequency of what you're feeling most of the time. So you can be a magnet to everything to you. And then maybe a message comes your way that is, an abundant opportunity, actually. All right. Thank you so much, Taurus. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Gemini. I don't know why. Okay, so crickets might be important. There's literally one in here somehow, and there's one like hitting the window. So yeah, anyway, as long as it's not a spider, but there's a giant spider like outside on the window. So that's like, um, scary because I hate spiders. I hate spiders. I freak out with spiders. But Gemini, okay, so this is your third house. This is a good time to declutter. If you need to declutter in general, um, you know, now's a good time to do it. If you need to reschedule things in a different way, this is the time to do it. If you need new marketing strategies, writing ideas, this is a good, yeah. If you're writing something, it's going to be really easy to write. It's going to be really easy to learn something new. If you've been needing to learn something for your business, if you've been needing to tend to something, one of the small things, then this is you want to do it. But the third house is like, where do you put your focus every day? Because the third house can kind of be the chaotic house, like where, um, your focus can be here, 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 here. But this is a powerful manifestation house. If you really hone your focus in on the 1 to 3 things that you really want to manifest or that you want to get done. So this is a powerful time to really set those intentions and get clear, kind of zoom in with what you want to get done. And then you can make magic happen in your everyday life. Affirmation, I think affirmations would be really powerful. I like robotic affirmations throughout the day. But affirmations with your third house lit up, it's a powerful time. Your words just have an extra emphasis of attracting good things to you. But also you're very charismatic too. Very charismatic and, just like you could banter with anyone right now. So, and you can meet somebody out and about in your community too, or on an online dating app if you're single. So all those things. Let's see what messages are coming up for you. So Queen of Fire, I think you're learning how to express yourself in a whole new authentic way that is courageous, that is bold. You're giving yourself permission to show up as that person, as that new evolved version of you that's like stepping up into this like bigger version of yourself, and you're feeling good about it. Like you have new ideas coming your way. There's new ways of expressing yourself. There could be new connections. But yeah, this Uranus in Gemini is definitely getting support. So Queen of Fire, see where you can blaze your own trail a little bit more, because the Queen of Fire, she is very bold and confident, and she makes her own, she gets that inspiration randomly, and then she'll listen to that inspiration, which leads her going on a very unique path and blazing her own trail that is creative or is creative, or I don't know, just following your heart actually. So see where you're being urged to, step into more embodiment in a way that is uniquely you and from the heart. And I think that is a powerful way to use this because, Venus is making a sextile to, with Uranus in the first house, like more authenticity, new ways of being authentic. You're feeling it. You're feeling the urge to like rebel and show up out in the world in a completely different way. And the more you listen to it, the more that you will actually be rewarded. Release the power struggle. I think wherever you're showing up more as your authentic self with what you like, what you don't like, what you're passionate about, what you want to do, the more you're going to find these relationships that are more like true love. Like true love does want to come in. True love came out. So this love is once in a lifetime. Wow, I love that. So you could definitely have a very significant relationship coming in for some of you. And if you want to bond more so in your current relationship, if you have a current relationship, this is a good time to have like very healing, beneficial communication. Demonstrate love. Find out what is important to those you love and act on it. Yep. More demonstration of love, possibly hoping, expecting, faith, manifesting, manifest. Make sure you're manifesting. Make sure you get, just a little bit more organized on what you want to manifest during this time. And then affirm, affirm, affirm until it's in your reality. Robotic affirmations you affirm in the back of your mind, like throughout the day, or you can do it 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night. Maybe visualizing too, or journaling, because you can receive major like downloads. Oh yeah, this came up too. So goodness, I overcome my imperfections, polish my character, and feed on the positive. Thus, I free myself, allow my goodness to manifest and become a source of joy. Through gentleness, I offer unconditional support, understanding of, and love to myself and others. Yeah, your goodness is really, really shining out in the world. There's an extra boost to it right now. All right, thank you so much, Gemini. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Cancer. Okay, so Venus is entering your second house. This is a money boost for you. You could definitely have very creative ideas to make more money. You could organize, your money, re-budget things. A lizard. Okay, a lizard might be significant for you guys. There's bugs like in, like animals popping up so randomly during like this entire reading for all that, like for a couple of the signs. So lizard, see where you need to shed the skin, maybe, so you can step into that more, so you can hold on to objects and things that you value that are more representative of you now. I think this could be a good time where you're clearing out, old things that you used to value, because everything holds energy, stuff holds energy. And if we hang on to something that is, sentimental, that's good. Marie Kondo it. Does it bring you joy? If it doesn't, if it's like an old version of you that you're long past and you just want to move on from, then maybe donate the clothes, donate, whatever it is, because, you can clear up the space to attract more abundance into your life. Also, the second house is like what we eat, what we keep in the fridge, just the material resources that we need to feel safe and secure. It's kind of like what we have in our everyday life to have that material stability. You can improve your diet during this time, especially with Virgo season. I'm cutting out the soda finally. I think I've said that a couple times, but now I actually feel like it. So like wait. Yesterday I did get a soda yesterday. I did anyway. But today I'm not getting a soda. So wherever you can kind of clear, and I have been very particular with like the water I drink and everything, and like just little things to like maybe improve your diet, does like, can attract more abundance in, because you do that stuff out of self-love, out of love for this physical vessel, so you can be the most abundant in this material reality, and so you can be a clear channel and all of that. So yeah, boost. And if you need to get, also the mouth is like ruled by the second house, so if you need to get your teeth cleaned, you could probably get an extra deal. But also it is like when you get your teeth cleaned, you do usually get like more money coming in. Everything's connected. We don't know how or why, but everything is connected. And astrology kind of shows that. So yeah, if you have any very inspirational ideas with money, with income, definitely put them into practice. But also, since this house is ruled by Leo, like how can you express more of what is at the core of who you are and your being and your natural skills and talents out into the world, so you can receive that abundance that is really, really meant for you. And yeah, if you need a raise or promotion, ask for it. Yeah, money coming your way. But I think the second house and the eighth house is literally all about just our soulful expression and creativity. So the more that you can just kind of let your life force flow into more creations, the more money can come your way also. Okay, so everything turns to light. I work to improve myself, embrace all that life brings to me, and transforms darkness into light. I allow myself to grow and become stronger. So yeah, maybe you're having a self-worth boost, So you can really like shine and radiate out in the world in a whole new way that is so representative of how you really feel. So definitely go balls to the wall with that. No, if you want it, you are it, you can have it. You just have to decide it and then move forth, you know? And then King of Earth came out. So yep, your boss bitch or boss man. You can have a lot of grounded stability coming in. And it looks like some of you are having a lot of money coming in. The King of Earth doesn't play small. The King of Earth is like and this could be a big business idea. A bird that was just like carrying something really weird, just like flew by too. So birds, I don't know. Yeah, maybe you just get a random idea that really comes your way that is a big money making idea. And that would make sense because Venus is trining Saturn and Neptune in the 10th house. And maybe it's something completely new and completely different. If it is, this is what you need to be doing, especially with your second house being ruled by Leo. Whatever is straight from your soul and uniquely yours, like do it, put it out there into the world. This can bring you a ton of abundance. So back to what you love, reevaluate your desires. Yep. So I think you're really getting in touch with your inner child in a whole new way and getting in touch with your desires of what you really wanted, like even as a kid, because what we wanted as a kid is actually usually all we kind of really want. Kind of, I don't know, to some degree, like that big vision that we kind of saw like when it comes to our lives and how we saw ourselves living and how you can get reconnected with that. These cards are so pretty. Yeah. And I think, if there's like a lift, there could be a lifting of a curse. I don't know. I don't know if there's like, for some of you, I don't think for all of you. Just know you're not cursed, and then you're not cursed. And then you can claim your power back with all of that. So yeah, know that when you go back to what you truly love and your desires, you're going to find a whole new wonderful world. And I think that is that whole new wonderful world that you're supposed to kind of plant out into reality for all of us. And it will bring you a lot of stability and money and all of that. All right. Thank you so much, Cancer. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio.